Very good. Happy holidays to everybody, and that must mean it's bragging rights season again, and time for the annual trek to St. Louis. So always an exciting game. Always so happy for all the great basketball fans in the two states and two universities who get to enjoy this game. And I say it every year. It's one of the most unique games I've ever been a part of in terms of the 50-50 split, and the longevity of this rivalry has been something fun to be a part of. Obviously, they did a number on us last year. That was not an extremely fun evening heading into the Christmas break. But new team, really on both sides. There's a few pieces back. Missouri went on to a great season last year, led by Kobe, and it was spectacular for them, making an NCAA tournament appearance, and they've got another great team. They've hit the portal hard. They've got a lot of new faces, but one of the key guys back is East, who has turned into a all-SEC type guard. I think he's leading the country in three-point field goal shooting, 61%, which is elite. Their guard play's been spectacular, and that's a concern of ours. We've had a few days since our last game with Colgate. It's been nice to again have practice time, and we'll expect nothing but a heck of a game in St. Louis, and we'll have to play extremely well.
You've won a couple of these, but why do you think it's been a struggle for you guys in this game?
Oh, I don't know. They're good. I don't know. It's I can go into different things. I don't know. I like this. I like the fact this year we're not butted right up to finals. That's always an issue. You got a little time in between, but that's not an excuse. But they've had really good players. I mean, we want to treat them like they're no good. They're really good, and have been. So, it's another game in the non-league schedule, and it's a good one. You got to be prepared for.
Talked about Missouri's guards offensively, but for your guards, Terrence and TJ, how much of a tone set are they, and how much of a tone set have they been for you guys defensively this year?
Well, we're 11th, 12th today defensively. They're a huge piece of what we do. I've said it many times. I think Terrence is one of the best defenders in the country. He went out and proved that again in the Colgate game against a very, very good point guard. And he'll have to do the same. He's always stepped up to that challenge of wanting to guard the other team's best player. That gets him going. I think that the fact they have three really quality guards who can all shoot it is a great challenge for Ty, Marcus, Justin, Draven, Luke, all of those guys who may get a little Quincy, who all may get a little run at those three guys. So they're very good, and they shoot it, they beat you off the bounce, they're efficient in the paint. So, the saying is you win with quality guards. They've got really good guards.
How have you seen that defensive side for Terrence kind of elevate his game? Like, what's been the biggest growth points for him with that?
Yeah, I think just, he's got elite athleticism. He's got elite strength. And I think it's just the comfort and of our system, the way we play now. It's not drastically different from what he did at Tech, but it's different enough. And then I think it's there's a maturity that goes with playing defense, and it's an effort thing. And I think that he's finally healthy. Completely healthy. He had missed 10 games prior to coming in here, so his conditioning's back to where is at an elite level, and he loves that challenge.
You mentioned it's a new Missouri team, and you've got a bunch of new guys. Does that, change the dynamic of this game where you don't have a lot of four-year guys that have maybe seen the same four-year guys across the board?
Yeah, there's no doubt. The portal, it doesn't build up. I've got a bunch of guys in the video room, that sit there and don't understand bragging rights. They're having to hear it. They haven't lived it. They've got the same thing. Whereas when Chester played, it was passed on, and year after year after year after year, and we've got a very much a different environment. It doesn't mean the game is any less important to the fans or anybody else, but getting guys to understand, Coleman's been a part of 4 of these now, and this is Luke's 3rd, and those are rare. We have guys that have been 3 or 4 years, and but still makes the game fun, and still makes the game an important one for our fans.
Is Chester still relishing the opportunity to drive home the importance of this game?
He does. He takes full advantage of his status, and he's very proud of his record there. So, but again, it's another non-league game, and it's a quality opponent on a neutral site, and we've got to hammer home the importance of the rivalry, and we've our fans let our players know, especially through social media, about this game.
They take their share of threes, I think, second most in the SEC. Do you want to run them off the line and make them take 2s, or how do you defend that?
Sure, it's what we do. It's what we try to do is get them into, force them into 2s. And I say that, and East especially takes 2 a game. He's a guy that leads the country in them, but he doesn't take a lot of them. He's very efficient in the paint, so you got to be careful how you pick your poison with him. Their other guards are catch and shoot guys that will take 6, 7 a game, and they come in a variety of ways. They come in transition, they come off the press. East is an elite passer. So you got to be very conscious of them, and it's something we've been, knock on wood, to this point, very good at taking away. And we got to continue to do that.
How do you feel about Dre so far through a month and a half or so? How is he progressing, and kind of just versus what you want for him going down the road? What's kind of different between maybe now and where he's going to go?
Well, he's extremely talented. I mean, he's just a special talent. Defensively is where he's made his biggest jumps. He has days in practice we can't guard him, and when Terrence can't guard you, you're doing a lot of really good things. Defensively, it's been tremendous growth for him. We're trying to get him fouled, for him to understand he needs to get fouled. Great players get fouled a lot, and with his athleticism, he gets by people. He creates opportunities. He can live in the paint, and he's got the ability to make hard shots. So he continues to develop. I've been really pleased with him. He spends as much time in here as anybody working on his game, and his time's coming.
Last week you said Nico had an appointment. I guess, do you expect him to be able to go tomorrow, and then what's next for his timeline?
No, he will not. He's in a pool. He's got a shoe on. He's continuing to just develop that. We won't bring him back until he's 100%, and it's pain-free at this point. But everything was great. It's just the process.
Has this week been a grind? How have you approached this week of practice with some more time on the court?
No, I don't want to say it's been a grind. It's nice. It's refreshing because we're not fighting academics and the classroom stuff like we did last week. But we had a very spirited practice on Tuesday, and it was fun. It was lighthearted. It was touching on some things, and we did some kind of a little different approach, and then back to Wednesday and Thursday. Obviously the game prep stuff. So, but yeah, it's been a really good week.
What do you want to see offensively from your team in this game? You want a fast pace? You want a lot of possessions?
You think I'm going to tell you that? Both. Whatever the game brings, we can play that way. I don't think it's. We'll see how it unfolds. They're a team that will press us some. They're a team that had tremendous success against us last year playing zone. Sometimes you gotta draw up and take what the game gives you. But we obviously like to play fast when we can, and we'll see if we get those opportunities. We got to defend and rebound. I know that.
How do you feel about Coleman getting back into a rhythm offensively after missing time? And seems like he's taking some steps forward there.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. Coleman never forces anything too much, and he takes what the game's given him now. It was nice to see him not just on his jump shot. There were a few drives, there was a few offensive rebounds, there was a few post ups. It was kind of a nice mix for Coleman, and figuring out where those opportunities come and what the matchup's going to be. It's going to be different every night. I don't know who's going to guard him. We see a lot of cross matching. We've seen a lot of 5-man guard him. So it doesn't. It's moving him in those places, and we were able to take advantage of that in the Colgate game.
It's similar to Dre. Just kind of what's the next step for Amani as you get through this first semester?
Yeah, I think it's just being patient. I had a long talk with Amani this week, and I mean, I've very, very rarely been around a freshman as mature as him in his approach and his understanding. And you go down here every single day, he's with a coach, and he is understanding that this is a process. The changes he's made with Fletch and his body are important from a conditioning standpoint, from a strength standpoint. I'm very, very comfortable with him on the offensive end. He's an elite offensive player because of his IQ, and I think he's figuring out the defensive side, and he's continued to get better there every day, going against Coleman, going against Dane. So like I said, he's going to be an all-league type guy, as I think Draven has the ability to be. And but I have no problems putting either one of those guys in a game if that's what's called upon.
Big picture, like we talk about Terrence's work ethic and kind of how that drives him here, but just in the time you've known him, what stands out about his development to go from where he was to now, a player of the year candidate in a lot of ways?
Well, it's very seldom when you have a guy who's first team All-League and a preseason All-American that wants to get better. There's a difference between good and great. He's really good. He had a really good year last year. He didn't have a great year. He had a good year. And finding that next gear, and it's simple. Terrence, sometimes we don't want you to come in at 4:30 in the morning. No, I'm actually going to come in at 4:30 every morning, and he won't rest on that. And he's very ingrained in his routine, but it's always about getting better, but never losing sight of the fact that he wants to win, and that's first and foremost. So I have tremendous appreciation for his very consistent work ethic. And I say consistent because it's very rare that you see guys, Io was one of those that had just a routine, a pattern, and when they said they were going to work, they were going to work, and they do. And he's taken weaknesses and made them strengths, and that's something that's nice to see from a good player who's turning into a great one.